It was raining heavily that night when the billionaire stopped his car in front of a small, dimly lit diner on the outskirts of the city. Inside, he saw something that made his heart stop. A mother, her clothes worn, dividing a single meal into 3 portions so her 2 kids could eat, leaving almost nothing for herself. The billionaire had seen countless things in his life: luxury, greed, betrayal, but nothing prepared him for what that mother did next. What he did afterward would change not just her life, but his own forever. Before we dive into this deeply moving story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, Hopeful Stories, for more heart-touching tales that remind us there's still goodness left in the world. Ethan Reynolds was one of the wealthiest men in the city, CEO of a multinational tech company, a man with everything money could buy. But on that rainy evening, success felt strangely hollow. He had just come from an award gala, surrounded by people who smiled only when the cameras were on. He wanted a moment of peace, away from the flashing lights and fake laughter. So he told his driver to pull over near a small diner that looked decades old, with a flickering neon sign that barely read Maggie's Place. As Ethan stepped inside, the smell of freshly brewed coffee and fried bacon filled the air. The place was nearly empty. Just a few truckers and one small family in the corner booth. That's when he noticed her. The woman sat with 2 children, a boy about 7 and a girl maybe 5. Her hair was tied in a messy bun, and her clothes looked faded, as if they had been washed one too many times. The waitress brought over 1 plate of spaghetti. Ethan watched quietly as the mother smiled warmly at her children, saying, "Eat up, my loves. Isn't this your favorite?" She split the meal into 2 small plates for her kids, then pushed the last few noodles onto their side. The little boy frowned. "But, Mommy, you didn't take any." She chuckled softly. "Oh, sweetheart, I already ate earlier." But Ethan could tell from her trembling hands and tired eyes, it wasn't true. She hadn't eaten. Something stirred inside him. He wasn't sure if it was pity, guilt, or something deeper. He called the waitress over and discreetly asked about the woman. The waitress sighed and said, "That's Anna. Comes here once a week when she can afford it. Works 2 jobs, cleaning offices during the day and waiting tables at night. Her husband passed in an accident 2 years ago. She's doing her best to keep those kids fed." Ethan nodded slowly, a lump forming in his throat. For the first time in years, he felt something other than ambition or pride. He felt empathy. He quietly paid for the family's meal, leaving a large tip for the waitress. But he didn't stop there. He instructed her not to say a word and told her he'd be back tomorrow. He spent the rest of that night thinking about the woman in the corner booth, about how, despite her hardships, she smiled like everything was fine. The next day, Ethan returned. Anna was there again, working this time, cleaning tables, greeting customers with a tired smile. She recognized him instantly, but didn't make much of it. Ethan ordered coffee and watched her work tirelessly. When she took a short break, he walked over and introduced himself. Not as a billionaire, but as someone who wanted to help. "I couldn't help noticing you last night," he began gently. "You're doing something extraordinary for your kids." Anna's face turned red with embarrassment. "I'm just trying to do my best," she said softly. "It's not easy, but they're my world." Ethan nodded. "I know it's not easy, but I think the world could use more people like you." He handed her an envelope. She refused at first, saying, "Sir, please, I can't take charity," but he smiled kindly. "It's not charity. Think of it as an investment, in you and in your children's future." Anna opened the envelope later that night and gasped. Inside was a check large enough to pay her debts, cover rent for a year, and even save some for her children's education. But what came with it was even more surprising, a note that read, "Sometimes angels appear in the most unexpected ways. I believe in you, a friend." Anna cried for hours, not out of pity but gratitude. She didn't know it yet, but this was only the beginning. Days turned into weeks, and Anna's life slowly began to change. She paid off overdue bills, bought her kids proper clothes, and for the first time in years, filled their kitchen with groceries. Yet she still had no idea who her mysterious benefactor was. She kept working at the diner, determined to stand on her own feet. One afternoon, the diner door opened, and Ethan walked in again. This time, Anna greeted him with a genuine smile. "Coffee, right?" she asked. "Yes, please," he said, returning the smile. "And maybe some conversation, if you're not too busy." They talked for hours about life, dreams, and second chances. Anna told him how her husband used to fix old radios, how they dreamed of opening a repair shop one day. Ethan listened quietly, deeply moved by her resilience. Finally, he revealed the truth. "Anna," he said softly, "the check you received, it was from me." She froze. "You? But why?" Ethan's eyes glistened. "Because once a stranger helped me too. When I was young and broke, a woman gave me food when I had nothing. I promised myself that if I ever made it big, I'd pay it forward." Tears filled Anna's eyes. "You have no idea what you've done for us," she whispered. "You didn't just give us money, you gave us hope." But Ethan wasn't done. He had a surprise waiting outside. "Come with me," he said. They stepped out, and Anna gasped. Parked in front of the diner was a small storefront with a sign being painted. "Anna's Corner Cafe, a new beginning." Ethan handed her the keys. "I bought this place for you. You deserve to build something of your own. Consider it a partnership. You run it, I'll fund it. You've already proven you have the heart." Anna covered her mouth, unable to speak. Her kids ran up, hugging her legs as tears streamed down her cheeks. The diner regulars gathered around, clapping and cheering. News of Ethan's gesture spread like wildfire. Reporters called it the kindest act by a billionaire, but for Ethan, it was something much deeper. He didn't do it for fame. He did it because for the first time in years, he felt alive again, because helping Anna reminded him that money means nothing if it can't change lives. Months later, Anna's Corner Cafe became one of the most popular spots in town. She hired single parents, offered free meals every Sunday, and even started a scholarship fund in Ethan's name. The billionaire and the single mom remained close friends, their lives forever intertwined by one rainy night and one act of kindness. And every time someone asked Anna how she managed to turn her life around, she'd smile and say, "Because someone believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself." Before you go, if this story touched your heart, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel Hopeful Stories. Your support helps us keep sharing powerful, real-life tales that restore faith in humanity. Remember, no act of kindness is ever too small to change someone's world.